Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video today I'm checking out a video titled Iconic Swedish Foods You Need to Try Before You Die. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to be on the list. Obviously Swedish meatballs must be there, but I'm kind of interested to see what else is on the list. So let's get right in the reaction video for today. Let's go, my friends.
If you love delicious cakes, pastries, and fresh seafood, you should know that those IKEA meatballs are just the start of what Swedish cuisine has to offer. We're sure you're more than familiar with the concept of Swedish meatballs, whether you've had them foisted upon you by a cocktail.
Yeah, Swedish meatballs taste amazing. So that one I do know. I'm kind of curious to see what else is on the list. Let's keep going.
Waiter at some formal event or sampled some while browsing furniture at IKEA. After all, more than 2 million meatballs are eaten daily at IKEA's stores worldwide, meaning many of us have already tried the iconic köttbullar during our lives. One of the best aspects of köttbullar, or Swedish meatballs, is the immense variety of ways in which it can be prepared. There doesn't appear to be much in the way of hard and fast rules required to categorize or define Swedish meatballs. Frankly, the only required ingredient for köttbullar, according to the Swedish Institute, is love. Actually, there is one other prerequisite to enjoying a truly authentic Swedish köttbullar: lingonberries, which are served on the side.
For me, the meatball is so much the IKEA culture. It's convenient, it's Swedish, and pretty much for everybody.
Some may call the Swedish food knäckebröd a crisp bread. Others, not unreasonably, may choose to class.
So what is that? Is that just like a cracker? Well, I don't really know the difference. Is that just like a regular cracker? Is it like the flavor? We're going to find out, I guess. But it just looks like a cracker to me, but let me know.
Classify it as a cracker.
Yeah,
setting semantics aside, this relic from historically impoverished times in Sweden has remained a staple because it is easily stored, has a long shelf life, and offers immense versatility.
It does look nice, though.
Knäckebröd can be enjoyed as a snack or as part of a meal and is an oft-included addition to Swedish smorgasbords throughout the year. When you consider it can be topped with any variety of delectable items, both sweet and savory, from pickled herring to jelly, it's obvious why this crisp bread has endured for roughly 500 years. For anyone doubting the veracity of knäckebröd's claim as an iconic Swedish food, don't just take our word for it. Take it from IKEA. Alongside its beloved meatballs, the company also sells knäckebröd. If we're being honest, no other Swedish food may be easier for the US palate to handle than pyttipanna, which is essentially just a meat and potato breakfast hash made with leftover food items. The simplicity of pyttipanna makes it a
Okay, it looks nice. You can never go wrong with meat and potatoes, to be fair. You can never go wrong with that.
clear winner in homes throughout Sweden. Who can resist the simple yet delicious combination of eggs, potatoes, and meat? Not only does pyttipanna contain a flavor profile suited to US taste preferences, it is also fairly easy to prepare. It involves little more than sautéing everything but the eggs in a single pan before frying the eggs separately to place on top of the dish. Trying pyttipanna should be on any list of iconic Swedish foods to try. It's often credited as being one of the dishes that define Swedish home cooking. And it's no wonder. It's warm, hearty, versatile, and a complete win. Frankly, the idea of a sandwich cake can be tough to wrap your head around. So is the entire notion of a savory cake, which is what smorgastårta is. Of course, since a cake is nothing more than a vessel to contain a combination of flavors, it's no surprise that cakes can work with savory ingredients. As long as you can get over any initial reservations, you'd do well to try this savory sensation.
I mean, I'm kind of down to try it. I don't know if it'd be good or if I'd like it, but I'm down to try it. This one, I don't know. The others, I'm like, yeah, I'm having that. This one, I don't know. I'll have to try it to see.
From Sweden before you die. And while it may not resemble any sandwich you're used to seeing, there's something to be said for experiencing something completely unexpected. Part of the appeal of smorgastårta is that it's served cold, which allows for preparation well in advance of any guests arriving to devour your beautiful concoction. It's also easier to prepare than its intimidating presentation would suggest. Sweden has been a sovereign nation since 1523, and with such a long history, it's not surprising that many traditional foods have remained prevalent through the years. Even though modern culinary capabilities have rendered moot some preserved items such as pickled herring. Despite the seemingly unappealing appearance and the notion of pickled herring, it remains an essential component of Swedish smorgasbords. As noted in the book, Treasured Recipes of Our American and Swedish Kitchens, pickled herring ranks as the most important.
I've never had pickled herring before. I've heard of it. It's very popular. But I've never heard of it. I mean, I've never had it, so that is something I need to try.
Important of all Swedish smorgasbord dishes.
It does look good.
All the others can be or not be, but the herring is a must item. It may seem odd to enjoy herring prepared through pickling, but according to Visit Sweden, this centuries-old method of extending a freshly caught fish's shelf life proved both cost-effective and tasty. And with such a long track record of satisfying Swedes, the continued popularity of pickled herring proves the old notion. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Lutefisk is, of course, the almost unbelievably odd dish that's famous, or rather infamous, as a traditional holiday meal in Nordic communities throughout the Midwest.
I haven't heard this one.
While Lutefisk's origins clearly lie in Scandinavia, it may actually be more popular with Swedish immigrants and their descendants in the US than with native Swedes, according to Smithsonian. The borderline poisonous preparation technique for lutefisk involves preserving cod in lye. Yes, lye, as in the corrosive chemical often used in cleaning. Use of lye in preparing lutefisk results in a gelatinous final product that emits a near-suffocating fishy stench. Preparing and eating any food product in such a way may seem dangerous, but it's been done for a long time, and serves as a powerful symbol. Once prepped, preserved, and eaten out of necessity, it's now a way to look back on ancestral foods and literally taste how far we've come. And yes, there's a good chance lutefisk is a dish you're not likely to love, but given—
I guess that's quite interesting based on the history of it, but I do wonder how someone would come up with creating that in the first place, like throwing some corrosive acid on that. That seems a little bit crazy to me, but I guess it's good because of the historical factor. I don't know about the taste for that.
Its unique history, preparation, and taste, texture, smell combination, it's something worth trying when you have the chance.
Yeah, I guess
even
try it,
just once.
see if I like it or not.
I always say, well, when your taste buds die, well, then you like lutefisk.
The origin of some traditions can be easy to trace. History has recorded just why things started, who started them, and why those precise things, or something close to it, continues to pop up over and over.
Tradition is tradition.
But the passage of time often obscures the truth about how something started. This is particularly true when talking about food duos that seem made for each other. One of those duos is Sweden's traditional Thursday lunch, Archopo och Cokor. That we don't know where or how this classic combo was created doesn't diminish its appeal or ability to satisfy. Perhaps akin to grilled cheese and tomato soup in the US,
I love grilled cheese.
Archopo och Cokor has been a simple and consistent staple in Sweden for ages. It is served everywhere in Sweden at lunchtime on Thursdays. How it became such a staple remains unclear. There are a number of explanations offered for the place of Archopo och Cokor in Swedish culture, including being derived from military customs or emerging from religiously imposed dining restrictions. But when you're dipping your pancake into that perfect pea soup and all your worries seem to melt away, does it really matter? If you're the type of person who views food and eating as a communal event to experience together, you need to prioritize attending an authentic kraftskylva, or crayfish party, before you die. There, you will have a chance to try kraftor. Given that kraftor is simply crayfish, some of you may believe you can check this one off your list already, but to truly experience this iconic Swedish seafood, you need to do so at a kraftskylva. A tradition for nearly a century, the so-called crayfish party involves plenty of kraftor, festive hats and bibs, singing, and general revelry.
What? That basically reminds me of Christmas. Is this like a Christmas thing? That's what I'm getting based on the party vibes and kind of the hats and everything. So this has to be like a special occasion thing. You can't just have this randomly, right?
Additionally, there are several varieties of both salt and freshwater crayfish species in Sweden.
I do like fish, so I would like to try that actually.
Kraftor remains an iconic Swedish food worth trying. Sweden has one of the highest life expectancies in the world, with Swedes living a whopping 5 years longer than people in the United States. That makes it hard to argue with the assessment that Sweden is an exceptionally healthy country, but there are still some Swedish desserts you need to try during your lifetime. At the top of that list is ostkaka. The name of this delectable dessert literally translates to cheesecake, but it's not nearly as heavy or rich as what an American palate might be used to.
Man, I need that right now. It's making me so hungry. I need that cake.
That's not to say ostkaka is a healthy dessert option. It may not be quite as decadent as some cheesecakes, but ostkaka isn't something that should show up on a daily meal plan. And here's the
special
thing.
occasion,
Don't worry
of course.
about how ostkaka compares to US desserts. Rather, just trust us when we tell you that if the opportunity presents itself, you should make a point to try it for yourself. While we do consider ourselves somewhat of an authority on all things food-related, we're inclined to defer to the experts whenever possible. So don't take our word that räksmörgås, an open-faced shrimp sandwich, is an iconic Swedish food worth trying before you die. Instead, take it from internationally renowned celebrity chef Marcus Samuelsson, who once wrote on Instagram, "There's nothing more Swedish or delicious as this räksmörgås." So that's it, right? If the long-time chopped...
Okay, I do like shrimp, so I could see it kind of working for a sandwich, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't put it together, but I could see it's like one of those things you put together randomly and you're like, oh, that's actually pretty good. So I could see this one working out.
Judge's declaration isn't enough to prompt you to seek it out. We're not sure anything else can. So unless you're less than enthralled with shrimp, or if you have a shellfish allergy, which is a fair reason to avoid it, there's little reason to think you'd be anything but satisfied with this simple sandwich. With more than 2,000 miles of coastline, it's easy to understand why seafood has played such a large role in Swedish culture and cooking throughout history. After all, before the importing and exporting of foods from around the world was commonplace, you could only eat what was available to you. As a result, gravlax, or dill-cured salmon, has become a Swedish staple. Similar to pickled herring, gravlax likely originated from the need to extend the shelf life of freshly caught fish through various curing techniques. Yet its subtle and light flavor had ensured it endured through the years, even when better preservation and cooking methods became available. Some may believe gravlax is like any other cured salmon. Some may believe they've already tried gravlax if they've eaten lox. But gravlax is prepared with less salt than lox and incorporates sugar and dill during the curing process. In other words, it's not the same. What's in a name? It's a lot if the alleged history of the iconic Swedish dessert Princess Tårta is to be believed.
Princess Tårta, so they just look like princess tarts. So I don't know if this is like a tart or what it really is, but I can see this being really nice, just the sugar on the top.
Some of the facts are indisputable. It was created by royal family tutor Jenny A. Kärrström, and it made its first appearance under the original name Green Cake in the 1948 edition of the cookbook, The Princess Cookbook, Home Cooking and Holiday Food. And while many agree that eating Princess Tårta is a rare treat, its popularity may not be solely owed to its fantastic flavor. In fact, some speculate that the dessert's early rebranding from green cake to the more elegant princess title is largely responsible for it becoming a cultural icon. Whether or not that's true is unclear. What is known, however, is that the cake includes a signature outer layer of green-colored marzipan and has been a widely enjoyed dessert for decades. Occasionally, the evolution of a culinary tradition is easy to track. Sure, the how isn't always entirely clear, but when it comes to why some foods become ingrained into a society, the answer can be quite obvious, as in the case of semla. After the nationally beloved Swedish pastry first found footing...
Okay, semla. That looks like the best pastry on the list so far. Man, I need to try this, along with the Princess Tårta, the green cake. I need all these pastries, man.
As a Fat Tuesday exclusive treat the night before the start of Lent, the Swedish Institute says that the baked good is now commonly available every day from Christmas through Easter. So, what are they? A cardamom-flavored baked bun split in half and filled with almond paste and whipped cream. Resembling a gigantic cream puff, semla can be eaten however your heart desires. According to Visit Sweden, though, the traditional method involves using the bun's top half to eat the oozing cream filling before devouring the remainder. Swedish culinary preferences tend to lean towards lighter, less rich fare. But like any rule, there are always exceptions. And the moist, uber-rich kladdkaka or chocolate sticky cake certainly fits that bill. In a lot of ways, actually, kladdkaka is less of a
you never
cake
go wrong
per
with
se,
chocolate
and more
cake.
of a cake-shaped brownie. The tremendously dense chocolate goodie is almost unbelievably easy to make, with a short list of ingredients that are simply mixed, poured, and ready to bake. Additionally, slightly underbaking your kladdkaka will lead to an eminently memorable final product, creating a gooier-than-normal center that perfectly complements and contrasts its external texture. Honestly, we're not sure how to sell you any further on kladdkaka. Go find a slice of Sweden's chocolate sticky cake and you'll die a happy person.
Okay, so make sure you guys go subscribe to Original Creator. I really did enjoy that video. And some of the pastries, especially towards the end, the kladdkaka, the semla, the Princess Tårta, and some of just the seafood as well looks very good. The Lutfisk, I think it was called. That one, I'm not entirely sure about. That one, I would try it, of course, but that one, I'm not really sold. But I guess it's kind of just something you have to try based on the traditions. The fact it's been around forever is part of Swedish tradition. I guess I kind of have to have it. But a lot of the thing did look really good on the list. There were some amazing pastries. I think the pastries are what stood out to me the most, if I'm being honest, and the amazing seafood. There's definitely a lot of seafood I need to try when I go to Sweden. And I can't remember what the party was called. But when you have the certain type of fish, they do a party, the hats and everything. That has to be like part of Christmas or like a special occasion, right? You can't just have the party and the hats and the food just whenever you go to Sweden. So if you guys want to let me know about more facts about these foods and what's missing from the list, let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everyone.